we got some guys that got drafted in the draft last week.
Yeah.
It was
4
great. Yeah.
NHL.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to be. Well, there's a couple things I want to say about it. Like, so obviously, Andrew Gibson, second round to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Smith, fourth round to Anaheim. Ryan McPherson, sixth round to Philly. And Warren Clark, seventh round to Tampa.
6th round, I think.
Well, then shoot me.
He was a couple picks after.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. I think he was 6th round.
Yeah. Well,
Either or.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He doesn't
Either
care.
or.
It was really neat. Why I like this is really cool because each of them have like a little, and then Mac's brother Connor is at Philadelphia camp with him right now. So like the funny thing is like most of them, there's only one, like Gibby skated with me not till Bantam. So, but I know him. He's a great player, great skater and stuff. But it was what I like about his story is, like, what I like about this is he was a fourth round pick in the OHL, and then he went and played in Tier 2 Junior A loop up in Northern Ontario, and stepped in the OHL and didn't miss a beat. So like when you look at the projection of where you're going to be, and you got to take the best route and all this different stuff. Like the bottom line is you just got to be able to play. And Gibby was that guy, so he had a really good opportunity in the Sioux this year. They had, he got to play right away because they were a little bit light on D. Not light on D meaning they only had 3D. What I meant is that they had to replace a lot because they had a really good team last year.
Yeah, a lot of older guys.
Yeah, so he was given, not given. He was took the opportunity to use power play and all that kind of stuff. Put up some points, did great. Then he got injured. And he was out for like, I think 6-7 weeks. And then, so like the scouting on him was like, oh man, this guy's really good. He just jumped in the league. He's doing well. He can skate and all the positives. And he's injured, so there's like question marks. So then he played. I think he finished 1 or 2 games at the end of the season. Went to the U18s and had a great camp and went second round. So that's
killer,
great.
man.
Yeah, it's great.
To the Red Wings.
Yeah.
What a sick spot.
Yeah. So that, like, the story there is like, it wasn't like he was a first round pick, this, that, the other thing, and everything was perfect, right? There was some adversity. It was good. He just took advantage of his opportunities.
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't handed to him. Yeah.
That was great. So then Connor, big 6'6" maybe, yeah, he's 6'6".
Huge man.
He's just a huge man that works really, really hard. And a super, super nice kid. But you get this kid on the ice, and this is maybe not. I think he'd be fine if I said this, but he won't. He doesn't mind hurting you.
Yeah,
he's got a mean streak
on the ice.
On the ice, but the nicest kid in the freaking world, like just happy and And I was really happy for him because, people look at, like, it's just looking at when people project NHL players, you're looking for great skate. Like, I'm not saying he's not a great skater, but you're looking for like those intangibles that are. Like, some people can't really understand, like, how could someone that's just like a stay-at-home D get drafted so high? Or, he does make mistakes on the ice, but it's like, if you think of a guy like that, I was talking to one scout about him. What do you think? And I said, well, obviously he's big and strong and mean, and he's got some gaps that we all know, right? But the scout said, he goes, yeah, but what do you think if he was drafted, whatever round, and he spent, 2 more years in the OHL and then 2-3 years in the American League just honing down those deficiencies, because you can't teach his size, you can't teach his meanness and his competitiveness. And I said 100%. I said you that's a great chance to take on a guy. So I was really proud of him because this guy really works hard. And to give him credit, he doesn't do everything with us. He does, like we talked about on a podcast before, he does other things. And he's doing great, man. He's just the happiest guy in the world right now.
Yeah, and super, super coachable kid too. Nice kid, super coachable, listens.
Yeah.
So like whether he's training with us or he's training at the other gym that he works out at or wherever he is, I could bet that he's listening, paying attention, and actually trying to get better.
Well, this kid in COVID,
yeah,
they went down to Nashville. He knew someone down in Nashville, so they packed up, went to Nashville for a couple months, and he trained. It's good for him. So then there was Ryan McPherson that got drafted. I know, you're so happy about that.
I'm so happy about it.
Here's another one, right? Here's someone that they were drafted. Him and his brother were both drafted to the Ottawa 67s, later rounds. COVID probably played a big role in that. Then they played a year of Junior B. Now, apparently the Junior B loop is not the greatest place to play to get drafted or to move on and get scholarships. But guess what? They both got scholarships. So Ryan and Connor both got scholarships, full rides to University of New Hampshire. that's coming up in whatever next year or the year after. But they were drafted out of the junior B loop. Why? Because they put up a ton of points and they did what they did really, really well. And they come in here and they work hard. I've been training with them. They're the same age as Charlie. And I've been training with them since they're 8 years old. They've been coming to this gym religiously.
Me too.
I know. Coming in this gym religiously. They pay attention. They pay attention to their diets, and they just ignored all the noise, and they just did their own thing as far as the path that they took, which was great. And it just seems to work out for good hockey players that are committed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about the Max?
I know. I'm not going to go too much more because I could go on a rip about these two guys. But it's for Ryan to go in the draft like that. It's just a real testament to him as a person too, because, you know, and then same for Connor, but because Ryan was the one that got drafted, it's like they had to watch, you know, Charlie play in the OHL and Seabass play in the OHL and them get their goods early, you know, whereas they had to wait an extra year before they started getting some attention. And, you know, maybe if they hadn't got that attention in their first year of junior B, they start getting a little bit, you know, in a rush to start to make different decisions. But nonetheless, they played junior B hockey, man. They played junior B, and they showed up to the gym every day. They're consistent when they needed to be consistent. They listen. They try to, and particularly Ryan, again, because he got drafted, like really, really intelligent kid in terms of his training too. Like he tries to ask questions and tries to get better, and he pays attention, and you feel like you're having an impact on him because he's actually listening and responding to you. Those qualities we always talk about. You know, he's looking at you. You ask him something and he gives you a real answer. It's not 2 words. It's like he actually explains what he thinks. So couldn't be more happy for that kid, man. Because he sent me a text. He's at camp right now, Philly, and he said that Patrick Sharp was there and gave him a couple nice compliments and all that. So I'm super happy for both those kids. But Ryan, for sure, it's awesome to see and be a part of. Like this is really my first real taste of a kid that I've had an impact on having that. You know, if you don't at the NHL level, obviously, but for you, I know you've had that with countless players, but for me, it's my first one, so it feels cool.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. It's an NHL, man.
Yeah, insane,
it's incredible. And then lastly for our group of guys here locally is Warren Clark, and this is like he had no idea that this was coming. And here's another one that didn't get drafted in the OHL, right? So 6'3" defenseman that works real hard, that's in good shape and happy kid, and just goes out there and plays. He's got a little bit of nastiness to him. So he moved out west to Alberta and played in
Manitoba,
Steinbach, Manitoba. And then he got a full ride to St. Cloud State. And it was supposed to be for the following year, but they want him here now. And then he got drafted, had some interviews, and like just great to see. But another guy, they just work hard and they're committed, man. It's awesome. So but my point is on this is when we talk about just continue to play and play because you love it and play with passion and all that stuff and keep training because you never know where it goes. If you do the right things, then if you're good enough, they're going to find you.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
My point, using your words as my point, is so take all 4 of these guys. They played AAA in Windsor-Sun County, so not Toronto, not the Michigan Loop, none of that. They played Windsor-Sun County. And then all 4 of them had a very different trajectory. And that's what I want to highlight from what you're saying is you have, you know, Gibby did the higher draft pick in the OHL, played 1 year of junior to like most kids that get drafted would, and then OHL straight shot to the NHL draft at 18. Is he even 18? 18 now?
Yeah,
he's 18.
Yep.
And then Smitty, he was a later pick.
Yeah, late birthday too.
Late birthday, played because it would have been last year was his draft year, or was this year his first draft year?
This because he's a late birthday.
This year was for his draft year.
Yeah, he's lumped in with the 05s because he's born in November, December.
Right, and not a skill Cale Makar type defenseman, totally different type of role, embraced a role and did it, and then gets drafted later on. Then you got the Ryan McPherson, which is like a really strange path of drafted, doesn't go, plays junior B, Division 1 out of junior B, and then NHL draft out of junior B. That's a really unique situation. And then Clarkie, same thing, like undrafted, plays a year of junior B, then plays a year of junior A, and then gets a scholarship and then gets drafted. So there's like, it's what we talk about all the time about there's no recipe. It's just a great example with the 4 guys we have locally that all did a very different or considerably different path. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting to see as just a nice example for people to pay attention to of just in our area alone, locally. We got 4 guys, all 4 of them very different setup, you know. So that's good opener.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. It's just it's so nice for like you said, it's the first taste that you've had of seeing someone come through the whole thing, and then you have your hands on them and actually have a lot of influence on some of their decisions and their training and stuff. That it feels really good when you have a hand in it. And I'm always so happy for any of the kids that get it, for sure. I'm just more used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And but it's like the biggest thrill in the whole world, and it's awesome. But it feels good when you have even just a small piece.
Yeah. Definitely, man.
And that's the other thing is, like, for coaches and parents out there, it's like it's easy to be discouraged. It really is. Like, if you're not the top dog and you're not getting all the love, like, we talk about it with my kid and the kids we talk that are here, but my kid personally, because I talk to him every day, is like, it's so easy to look at all the hype stories, and then, but the problem is when the hype doesn't, the expectations don't live up to the hype. It's like that's a big fall from grace. So it's like I'm a big fan of going through things quietly and just doing your job, and just put the work boots on, nose to the grindstone, and just do the work. And again, it's not thinking what am I going to get out of this tomorrow or this year. You got to think of it long term and just work for that period of time.
Yeah, and I look at really even for probably JB was probably the most well known of the 4, but Connor too, because they went to the Memorial Cup this year. But then you got Ryan and Warren. Like, there's probably thousands of people listening to this right now that don't even know them. They don't even know who they are, right? But they're drafted to the NHL, and that's just to your point, just like that quiet, go about your thing, do your thing. At the end of the day, you're going to end up in the same place. So you just keep chugging away and do what works for you, and keep working, and just keep going at it, man. And it's a good testament to that, man. So good for them.